Hello students, let's begin at chapter 20, Disaster Management. Yes students, today we are going to study about what is the meaning of disaster and the types of disasters. When the disasters take place, what should be done and what should not be done, and what are the types of disasters we are going to talk about. So let's begin our chapter. A disaster may be natural or man-induced, may be catastrophic or diastrophic, may have originated in the interior of the earth or in atmosphere. It is felt over extensive area on the earth and also results in devastation. So students, what is that? When we talk about disasters, we are going to see that the disasters can be natural or man-induced, and they may be catastrophic, like the large destruction and all that it brings, or diastrophic. Now, students, what is the meaning of diastrophic? Diastrophic also means like a diastrophism, like a process of deformation of the earth's crust, which involves folding and faulting, which we have studied in our chapter 13, 14, especially in that about the tectonic plates and all. Okay, so students, what happens? It may have originated in the interior of the earth. Why interior of the earth? Why I said in the chapter 13, 14? Because we saw the different layers of the earth, the crust and so on, which I had showed you. And so, students, what? It happens in the interior of the earth or in the atmosphere. It can happen in the atmosphere also. And then what? It is felt over extensive area on the earth and also results in the devastation. It is felt very different parts of the country or of the earth, on the earth. And so what happens? It results in devastation. It destroys a lot, brings a lot of destruction. If we examine a few phenomena, it will be clear that a disaster damages lives and property to a great extent. It does not only, it's devastation not only about the trees or the environment, but it also uh, damages, destroys life of the people. So many people die in this type of disasters when it is a natural disaster, and also the loss of property along with these disasters. We are going to see now which disasters are these. We'll see it just now only. Some events like volcanic eruption, earthquake, tsunami, etc. are the collective result of both natural as well as man-made, man-induced acts. So what happens there? As we said that it could be the natural, when we talk about natural, like volcanic eruption, earthquake, tsunami. In this case, man cannot do anything. We have to vacate the place and move to the different places, or we know that many people die into the tsunami and the earthquake and the volcanic eruption and so on. So, some events bring pre-planned devastation and destruction. Example, atomic attack by US bombers over Hiroshima and Nagasaki cities in Japan in the Second World War, whereas some events are results of human negligence or mistake. Example, Bhopal gas tragedy or Chernobyl atomic disaster of Russia. So students, some are man-made, like the bomb which was pre-planned, which was on the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They decided to bomb these cities. They wanted to destroy, and so the bombers had pre-planned it beforehand. Whereas the human negligence, that is about the Bhopal gas tragedy, the leakage, you remember, and also the Chernobyl atomic disaster of Russia. Now, disasters. What are these disasters? Oh, students, sorry. Okay, now the types of disasters are this. There are two types of disasters. We are aware of the risk of disasters. To decide the strategy for relief work, it is necessary to know the reasons and responsible situations. it is important to know these with reference to overall preparation for relief work. Experts on disaster management have divided the disasters into two categories. So disaster has been, the experts have categorized into two types, and they are natural disasters and the man-induced disaster or man-made disasters that we say. Now, this includes flood, cyclone, tsunami, drought, earthquake, volcano, forest fire, etc. These are the natural disasters. Of these, a forecast is possible for floods. For the floods forecast, the weathercast can say what is going to happen. Okay, cyclone, tsunami, and drought. While it is not possible to forecast earthquake, volcanic eruption, forest fire. Now, so what? There are some things which can be forecast beforehand. It can be told, and they are what about the floods. But cyclone, tsunami, and drought also can be. While it is not possible to say about the forecast of the earthquake, volcanic eruption, and the forest fire. Okay. Man-induced disasters are here. Fire, industrial accidents, bomb explosion, riots, etc. are included in the man-induced disaster. Which are the students? Fire, industrial accidents, bomb explosion, riots, etc. Now, the natural disasters, which are they? Flood. By flood, we generally mean an extensive land area remaining submerged underwater continuously for several days. What happens when the flood takes place? You know, many times during the rain, monsoon and all, and then water remains submerged under, what happens? The land area remaining submerged underwater continuously for several days. People associate flood with river. When river water overflows, its banks and the nearby land area comes underwater. Flood is a natural event and is a result of continuous heavy rainfall. Floods become dangerous when some construction is carried out ignoring human activities, drainage pattern, slope of the land, etc., and damage lives and property on the land on the large scale. So students, what happened? Why do the flood takes place? People associate it with the rivers. When the rivers overflow, it's a blank, and the nearby land area comes under water. But students, also it is due to the heavy rainfall. Continuous rainfall also happens because of the continuous rainfall. Also, the floods take place. They become dangerous when the construction is carried out ignoring the human activities. They are not taking care of the human activities as well as the drainage pattern. It is not taken proper care. Also, the slope of the land, and what happens? It damages the lives and the property on the large scale. People, when they are not aware of it, when the drainage system and this construction work, when it is not taken care, people may fall and people may die. Now, what is to be done? What to do when the flood takes place? Collect your precious and personal requirements and take refuge at a safer place. Collect your precious and personal requirements. Second, put water, dry breakfast, candles, lanterns, matchbox in a plastic box so that they do not get wet, and they should be kept with you. So these things they mention about, like the dry breakfast, put water, candles, lanterns, and so on. And what happens? Should be kept with you. Make sure that they do not get wet. Do not keep children hungry. Do not keep the children hungry. After the flood resets, once the floods are receding, decreasing, the level of water is getting down, then drink only boiled water. Okay, you need to drink boiled water. Then radio, mobile phone should be kept with you invariably. Why? In order to get the proper news and all, you should listen to the radio news as well as the mobile phones, but be aware. Also, what happens? Be aware of snakes. So many snakes in the flood water can come into your house. They may come to dry places. Keep a bamboo stick to drive them away, to drive the snakes away. What is not to be done? Do not eat food prepared in flood water. It is very important. Do not eat anything from out, I can say. Then do not move out without collecting authentic information. Here I was telling about the radio and the mobile phones, but you should get what? The correct information, authentic, genuine information about the routes and the situations before moving to a safer place. So do not believe any rumors, students. Okay. So what is to be done? We are told to do what is you collect your precious things, your personal requirements, and take a refuge to the safer place. Also carry with you dry breakfast, candles, lanterns, matchboxes, plastic box, in a plastic box so that it doesn't get wet. Do not keep your children hungry. Drink the boiled water once the water is residing. Keep the mobile radio with you and be aware of the snakes and chase them away. In order to chase them away, what you need to do? Keep the bamboo stick to drive them away. Do not eat food prepared in the flood water, as well as get the authentic information. Then what is this cyclone? Due to atmospheric disturbances, a sudden strike is made by severe storms. These storms are known as cyclone in India, in Indian subcontinent, hurricane and tornado in USA, as typhoon along the coast of China and Japan. So the name cyclone in India we may call it cyclone, okay, but it's known as a hurricane and tornado in the USA, tornado and hurricane in USA, typhoon in the coast of China and Japan. These severe atmospheric storms are created due to unequal atmospheric pressure. Due to this type of storms, cyclones are created. Such storms or cyclones create devastation over the area over which they pass. So when it passes, the cyclone through whichever area, you have seen very often in Assam and all, we get to hear this devastation. Its devastating effects are felt along the coast of eastern India and Kutch, Saurashtra. So it's in the eastern India, the coast of eastern India, and the Kutch, that is in Saurashtra. Cyclonic effect. Now, what is to be done when it takes place? Keep viewing the news bulletins on TV or radio to know the anticipated time of the oncoming storms. It may occur, cyclone will occur again, and therefore you should keep listening to the news either on the radio or on the TV. Those who have a radio should keep an extra battery ready so that your battery doesn't go down and you are not deprived of the news. Mobile phone should be kept fully charged in advance. If you have a power bank instrument, it should be also charged fully in advance. So what? Along with your mobile, you have to keep it charged. Also keep your power bank. It will come handy during this time. Make sure that it is charged fully. Listen carefully to the instructions, warnings, broadcast over radio and implement them. So what? Listen to the instruction and implement them. Just listening to the warnings and instructions and do not follow will not work with it. Stay away from rumors. Do not believe in rumors. Therefore, listen to the news. Store additional food, dry breakfast, and drinking water as per need. As much as you need, keep the drinking water as well as the additional food and the dry breakfast. Keep provision of food and medicines necessary for children and old people. We have old people with us. We also have children. Do not keep them hungry. Keep giving them food as well as the necessary medicines, whatever you require. If the rescue team tells you to vacate your home, cooperate with them. So they will tell you to vacate, to empty the space of the place, your house, vacate it, but Cooperate with them wherever they send you. Please cooperate with them and go. Use pure and safe drinking water. Use pure and safe drinking water. If you have taken shelter in a shelter home created by the government or by any NGO, then follow their instructions and do not leave the premises without their instructions. So what? If you are taking shelter in any of these government house and all, then follow their instructions. Do not leave premise without their instructions. Do not keep your domesticated animals tied up to their post. If they are free, they can defend themselves in a better way. If they are tied, then students, they will try to make a move and they can be entangled with the chain which they are tied and they can die. The risk will be more when they are tied than they are left to loose. So therefore, make sure that you leave them loose. Then what is not to be done? Do not pay any attention to gossip or rumors except for the instructions issued by the weather department on radio. So what? Do not believe the rumors, the gossip and so on. If the atmosphere calms down suddenly, rain stops, wind becomes standstill, even then do not go in open area. Wind or rainfall may strike suddenly. You are not sure and therefore do not say that let's go to see what has happened. Students, you do not know about the rain or the storm again. Do not touch electric poles or loose wires. Stay away from them. Do not go to do charity without having proper knowledge. So what? Do not touch electric poles. Avoid touching electric poles as well as loose wires fallen over there. Stay away from them. Otherwise, you may get shock. Do not take shelter near bigger hoardings or large trees. They may fall on you and you may die. So students, it is today we studied about the floods and the cyclone, what to do and what not to do. It can be asked in the exam for either for 2 marks or the 4 marks question. Will be, if it is 4 marks question, will be asked about the flood as well as cyclone. But if it is 2 marks question, either of it can be asked. Students, I am going to stop over here. We shall see about earthquake and so on tomorrow. Have a good day.